things were going real good for the most part. I was like, oh, I got this. Okay. They saw my heels, was like, wait a minute. My boots. So like, you came in the hospital in labor in these? Yes, ma'am. Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. I am Danielle, your level up partner in self-love and self-care. And this is Relentless Beauty, because we are what? In relentless pursuit of self-improvement. Now, I know I have uploaded a few videos in the meantime, in between time, but I told y'all I was going to share my birth story with y'all. So here we go. So I am going to make this like a longer vlog because I did get some hygiene products and I want to share those with y'all as well. And so this is a part of the little hygiene haul. I needed some products, so I got what I need, and I'm trying some new things. So make sure you stay tuned, because I do have a nice little dupe, okay, that will save you some money, okay? So anyway, let me hop into my birth story. Now, if you are new and you don't know, I just had a baby, and you might be able to hear her crinkling. She's right here on the bed with me, playing with her little toys and stuff and her little crinkle book. So I had a baby. She'll be 6 months tomorrow. Time flies, y'all. Okay, so this isn't my first baby. This is my 5th, but this is my first little girl. So if you don't know, and I think I did mention it in older videos, that my pregnancy with her was like totally different. You know what I'm saying? Having a girl, it was just a different pregnancy. And so my my birth experience was different as well. No, she eyeballing the phone. She wants to grab it. Anyway, so my birth experience was different as well. So you know how they say the more pregnancies you have, the faster the babies come. Well, this was not true for me with her. Now I'm trying to think with my other kids, like my first labor, my first pregnancy, I was in labor for 13 hours. I'm not totally sure when I went into labor with my last son. I'm really not sure, because like I wasn't sure whether I was in labor or not. Like it was just a different experience with him. It was more like adrenaline, and like I was shaking and stuff, but I wasn't really in pain. And so I was still doing stuff. Like I was cooking, I was cleaning, I was getting the kids ready for school. Like I'm really not sure when exactly I went into labor. So it was, I do think that it was less than 13 hours though. And it might have been my fastest labor. But again, I'm not sure. Little Miss Ma'am over here, 19 hours. I was in labor for 19 hours, y'all. Oh my God. I didn't really have Braxton Hicks contractions with her. Now, I know I told y'all in one of my videos, like the last doctor's visit I had, and they checked me and I was 2 centimeters dilated. I was, you know, afraid that I was going to go into labor like that night. I didn't. I didn't go into labor until pretty much when it was predicted. My birth was on time, but 19 hours, y'all. 19 hours. I went into labor Thursday morning around 8 or 9 o'clock. And then I didn't have her until almost 4 in the morning, Friday morning. I started mentioning it in the other video, but I was like, I'm gonna wait till this video. So what had happened was, let me see, did I mention the epidurals and everything in that video? I can't remember whether I mentioned the epidural, so I'll just repeat it here. So with my first, I had an epidural. 2, 3, and 4, all natural. And in fact, with my second child, he was born at home. Like I tried the whole water birth thing, but I was too short for the pool, and so it felt like he was floating up. Like they, they put so much water in the pool, and I'm not that tall, so it just wasn't comfortable for me being in the pool. So I ended up having him in the bed. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they laid the blue chucks or whatever you want to call them down. The bed was protected, but I had him in the bed, and I had him on all fours. Like that was, I just felt more comfortable in that position, so I had him on all fours. So, and I had a midwife with all of my kids except for the first. So I was just straight doctor with my first son. Okay. And hospital birth. And I wanted a midwife actually for my first, but listening to my mom, and that's what most people do, go into the hospital. So she know no better, and I didn't know no better listening to her. I did not have a pleasant birth experience with my first at all. I had a nasty nurse. Like, she copped an attitude with me, like, stop whining, you're not in pain. Like, who the fuck are you to tell me that I'm not in pain? Don't talk to people like that. And so shout out to all of the good nurses out there, okay? I thank you and I love you for your service, because all nurses are not created equal. So I fuck her. Who are you to tell me how I feel? Going through one of the most, if not the most painful experience anybody can ever go through in their life. I was just completely turned off by the hospital. So I had a midwife. So what I was gonna do for my second child, because I really, well, I won't say I really didn't know much, but I wanted a happy medium. So I decided, okay, I want a doula. But I told my doula how I always wanted a midwife, and she was like, I can't sit back and hear you tell me that and I not do what I can do to set you up with a midwife. And so that's exactly what she did, and I ended up having a midwife and having a home birth. No. And I kept that midwife for my other kids. So with this experience, I wanted to do something different. Again, a happy medium, especially being older, having a baby in my 30s, pushing 40. So I wanted to try a birthing center. So this wasn't like really, it wasn't really a birthing center, but it was a good mix. So I did have a midwife through my prenatal care. I had a doctor and a midwife, but I mainly saw midwives. In fact, I only saw the doctor once during my prenatal care. Loved them. They were great. Really nice facility. And the hospital that I went to, one, I wasn't even sure that it was a hospital. I was confused because I'm like, that's a hospital. Like, it was a small hospital. I thought it was just office buildings, because I'm used to like really big, sprawling hospitals, and it wasn't like that at all. And so it was a nice hospital. They had a pool and everything, and I'll insert some footage because I did get a little bit of footage. Was I in labor at that time? No. No, I wasn't recording while I was in labor because I was busy listening to my meditations, okay? Because like there's a type, hypnotic birth, that's what it's called. I discovered that like right at the end of my pregnancy. So if you're in the beginning stages of your pregnancy, or if you're trying to get pregnant, do your research and look up hypnotic birth. So I had like a singing bowl type of meditation going, and it definitely helped me. So I didn't record anything while I was in labor. I was too focused for all of that. But after I gave birth, I did get some footage, and so I'll include that here. I did it. So, perdone, excuse, for if you on Duolingo. So allergies been acting up. Child, this pollen has been something else. I've been sneezing all daggone day. My nose was stopped up in the middle of the night. I had to breathe. I hate breathing through my mouth. Fall is fast approaching. I'm quite surprised, especially being further south than where I'm from. I'm from Virginia. Anyway, I digress. So, what the hell was I saying? I don't even know. I know I was mentioning hypnotic birth. Definitely check that out. What else was I saying? Oh, the facility. So there was like a birthing pool and stuff. Stop it. See, that's why I didn't want. Get away. Oh my God. Okay. Before she be on this side. So they had a birthing pool in there. I didn't get in the pool. I've gone off on so many tangents. So I said all of that, giving y'all the rundown about my other birthing experiences, because things were going real good for the most part. I'm like, oh, I got this. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Because for a long time, and I mentioned the Braxton Hicks for this reason. Okay, it's all coming back to me. I mentioned Braxton Hicks for this reason because I wasn't sure whether I was in labor or not. You know what I'm saying? Because it really wasn't that bad, and it was like super irregular at first. So I'm like, okay, these might just be Braxton Hicks. I'm finally getting Braxton Hicks. Like, I went through my entire pregnancy, no Braxton Hicks. And I did have some cramps that had me worried. Like, I was in tears. And I like I said, I was worried because I had never experienced that early in my pregnancy. I was only maybe 3 or 4 months pregnant, and I was getting like these really strong cramps, no bleeding or anything like that, but like it was bad. And if I still have this particular singing bowl meditation saved, I'll put it in the description, because it's the channel is Healing Vibrations. I've shared that with y'all before in one of my, like, I think it was my very first video. I like to meditate to Healing Vibrations. So he has a meditation where I think it says pain relief. Excuse me, allergies. I think it says pain relief in the title, but whatever. It helped me, because when I tell you I was in pain for like an hour or two, and I was crying, that's how much pain. Like, I ain't never even experienced that during labor. So I was definitely like, what the hell is this? But, you know, I brought up my concerns and everything, and it wasn't anything. Just, I don't know, I guess just my womb preparing, because it had been so long since I had been pregnant. So anyway, because of that, and then my other birth experiences, I wasn't that sure whether I was in labor or not. Like, I thought they were just maybe like Braxton Hicks, because they weren't that painful. So, you know, I'm going on throughout my day and doing what I got to do and everything. And they started getting stronger in the middle of the night, you know, to where, you know, you got to start talking to yourself and doing your deep breaths and your breathing exercises and all of the things. And that's when I started listening to my meditations and stuff like that. And it started getting more regular. I'm like, okay, I think I'm in labor. And that was around 1 in the morning where I finally, girl, I think you're labor. Because, I mean, it was that kind of like irregular. So I wasn't sure. So experienced mamas, it's always, you know, a new experience. Like, you just never know what can happen. So just be prepared, have that bag packed, and be ready to go, because first time mom, experienced mom, it really doesn't matter. You just don't know what's going to happen. So just be prepared and have, you know, your birth plan and your bag packed and everybody on speed dial and all of that shit, and just be ready to go. So around 1 in the morning, I'm like, okay, I think it's time to wake hubby up and let him know take me to the hospital. It's time. So luckily there was no traffic, because I was definitely hoping, because the hospital was 40 minutes away, and where it was located, the traffic can definitely get bad. Like, there have been days traffic was bumper to bumper. I'm like, oh my God, what I'm gonna do? And we gotta get to the hospital and traffic is like this. So luckily she was born in the middle of the night and there was no traffic or anything like that. What? I thought so. She done spit up. I thought I felt something warm. So yeah, now that I've tied that loose end, the Braxton Hicks loose end, let's get to why I mentioned the epidurals and stuff. Because I wasn't going to get an epidural with her either. And I was doing so well for so long. I'm like, I got this. But then shit got real. And I'm like, you know what? I said to myself, said, I said, you ain't got to be no hero, okay? You done already proved to yourself that you can do it without drugs. Get Miss Anesthesiologist in here now. Tell her get in here now and put that needle in my back. I ain't got nothing to prove. So she came and, you know, you got to sign your waivers and do. Now, shout out to my anesthesiologist. I've had good anesthesiologists. I haven't had any bad experiences with anybody that's given me an epidural. And this is just my second time having one. I hope I don't have to do none of this ever again, okay? I'm not a winter crone. I think I said this before, but I ain't no spring chicken either. Okay, I'm an autumn hen. I don't want to go through this no more, especially now that I got my girl. Let's leave all of this pregnancy business to you young folks. So anyway, my anesthesiologist, she was really good. You know, she took her time with inserting that needle in my back. Because, I mean, of course, you know, when you're having contractions and stuff while they're doing this. And, yeah, she was really great. So by the time they got her down there, and by the time I done signed all the waivers and all of this, child, and now I see why. Signing stuff under duress, because it's like, I take my time and read. Okay, that's that Native American blood in me. All right, don't sign shit till you read it thoroughly and understand, honey. You sign your soul away. But child, because I can't I can't read and comprehend and sign. Luckily, it wasn't my first rodeo. Yes, I know it's possible for me to be permanently paralyzed. Put this needle in my back. Take this goddamn clipboard out of my face and put this needle in my back. So by the time I done signed everything and did all of that, and she done put everything in, she was like, okay, well, all done. And it'll take about 15-30 minutes to kick in, ma'am. I got the push. So I got the epidural for no fucking reason. Because I felt everything. The only thing I didn't feel, like I said, I think I did mention this in the Mary Kay video, that I didn't experience the ring of fire. You know what I'm saying? It had me choking. In my other video, I think that was when I was showing y'all all the little stuff I got for my baby shower. And I had gotten choked up, child, mentioning the ring of fire, because Miss Between Me down there didn't find the joke funny. She didn't find the mention of the ring of fire. So don't lick my watch. She didn't find it funny, honey, and she kind of choked me up. It was like, watch your mouth. We don't joke about the ring of fire. So, yeah, I didn't feel that. The epidural did help with that, and I wasn't, you know, in that much pain afterward. I mean, now, I will say this. So, for all you first-time mothers out there, if you don't know about breastfeeding, the beauty of breastfeeding, it definitely has its pros and cons. I do prefer to breastfeed because, baby, trying to wake up in the middle of the night and think and measure formula and warm up bottles, that's for the birds. I would much rather just roll over, gather her up out the bassinet, pop a boob in her mouth, and we can both go to sleep. Okay, now for all of you heavy-chested women out there, I don't know, you know, things are a little different. You got to be careful. You know what I'm saying? You don't want, you know, certain breastfeeding positions might not be that doable for y'all, but I'm not one of those. So I can do the side laying position just fine. But anyway, the beauty of breastfeeding is that it helps your belly go down quicker. So if you're trying to, you know, get back in shape, honey, as fast as possible and snatch that waist up, breastfeeding helps with that, if you didn't know that. The kicker is, let me get mad because my nose ran again, child. The kicker is, when you breastfeed after birth, you have contractions. When I tell you you cramp, you cramp. But breastfeeding, it helps snatch that waist back in, and it helps with the bleeding and stuff too. Because the contractions. So you know what I'm saying? I had the people in awe. In the hospital keep asking me. Now I did, you know, she gave me some medication like right after I gave birth. What she gave me? Ibuprofen. I want to say ibuprofen, Tylenol, and something else. Like, dang. And I'm funny about, I'm not somebody that takes medication. Like, I have to be in pain. Because especially breastfeeding. Because it's like, I don't want that in my breast milk. So I had them people in awe. I was like, girl, you sure you don't want any pain medication? Like, nah, I'm good. You're like, yeah, the contractions. It only happens when you start breastfeeding. So it's not like you're just, oh, I'm just in pain, I'm just having contractions. No, when you start breastfeeding, then as you're breastfeeding, you contract. But for me, it's like I know what it's doing. You know what I'm saying? I know it's snatching that waist up, so I appreciate the pain. It's like I welcome it. So yeah, it hurt, but it ain't labor. It's not going to keep going and then progressively get worse, and then I have to push out a human. So I can handle a minute or two while I'm breastfeeding. You know, I can handle those contractions, and it only lasts for, I'll say, the first 2-3 days. And for me, and everybody is different, but the first 2-3 days. And like I said, I don't want all of this crap in my milk. So no, I don't want any medication. You know, I got my ice pack. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. The only thing I want them to do for me is go find some food. Now I know the kitchen closed, so my nurse, she was really sweet. She was like, I'm the only girl. I'm the and I have 4 brothers as well. And we're really close, and so you've got that to look forward to. I'm like, oh, and so she was super sweet, and she was like, you know what? Once she was like, you have kept your room like the neatest I have ever seen in my years of being a nurse. And she, you know, she was a seasoned nurse. She wasn't an autumn hen, okay? She was a little more than an autumn hen. But she was like, you have kept this room the cleanest I have seen, because some of these women, right, this stuff everywhere. But baby, I was on my shit. I was that girl in there, okay? And they saw my heels, was like, wait a minute. My boots. She's like, you came in the hospital in labor in these? Yes, ma'am. And I'm gonna walk out of the hospital in them too. And with my good wig. My good wig on. And that's looking crazy. Anyway, so the girl saw my wig in the pack, like, oh, that's cute. Thank you. Like, oh, this your fur cut? Yes, ma'am, okay. Because I was determined that, you know, I wanted to be on point and very much in my diva era for this pregnancy, because it's like I admire women that are able to do that. And so I had said to myself, if I ever have another one, I'm going to be that girl. And I was that girl, honey, okay? Another nurse was like, you matching your pajamas and your robe? And yes, ma'am, okay? So that nurse, though, she was like, oh, it just was such a pleasure working with you. Like, you so nice, you so easygoing. Like, I wish all of my patients were like you. But she hooked the sister up when that kitchen was closed. Like, girl, whole trays of food. Because, you be hungry breastfeeding, not to mention the fact the dinner ended at like 7. So I was ordering my food around 5. And you're going to be up all hours of the night with the baby. 5 o'clock? And I got to wait till 6 a.m. to order some breakfast? Please find me some food. Okay? I'm greedy. And then breastfeeding does make you hungry as well. And do you know my shady husband had the unmitigated gall to say that I was slim husky the other day, because we went school shopping and he had bought our kids some husky pants. We don't have husky children at all. They need slim fit, okay? And even with the slim fit, sometimes you got to use the adjustable strap, so they got to have a belt or something. So it's like, child, why did you buy these husky jeans for these slim hipped children? And so one of the jeans was slim husky. I'm like, what the hell is slim husky? Talking about you slim husky. I am, but I ain't gonna, because I've been working out every single day, and he better be on his P's and Q's, okay? He might have to fight somebody the way I'm finna be looking. All right, what is it? I can't think of her name. It's Kathy something. This chick I done found on Instagram, and shout out to the woman, I think it was a woman, who was under Rocky Giovanni's post, and she mentioned this woman's name, because I've been following Rocky Giovanni for a while. If you don't know who that is, RAHKI, baby, body, okay? She was the first person like that just really super inspired me. Like, you can do that in the gym? You can actually build curves in a gym? Are you serious? Look her up. If you don't know who she is, look her up. So somebody had mentioned Kathy somebody. Baby, when I tell you she is the moment, she is the things of the things, she is that girl, honey. And they got a program. So y'all going on over to shopenchantedways.com and get you some services so I can get my coin up, because I want to do them programs. Okay, she looks incredible. She looks amazing. And she is my inspiration, okay? Because, I love Rocky's body, but I don't want to be that heavy. And I'm on the short side. I don't want to be that heavy. I don't even know if I want to be 200 pounds like Kathy. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't even know if I want to be 200 pounds like Kathy. Sure, get out of my face. But her body is amazing. And so I'm definitely fit to be somewhere along those lines. You know what I'm saying? That's right. Tell him. And so he better enjoy me being slim husky now, because I won't be. I had to be on his P's and Q's, like I said, because he might have to square up. Anyway, so that's my birth story, y'all. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.